did keep the energy. Good job.
Give them one more big round of applause, everyone.
That's like intravenous energy that we're getting. It's great.
So we're getting right to these questions, right up in front. Go ahead and get to your name and your question, please.
Hello. Hi. My name is Jose. I've had this question both for Clifford and Justin, and I want everybody to know, should Deku and Achi have a rematch? And who will win in the rematch?
Yes, I think they should fight like 100 times. It's always the best episodes. I'd like Deku to take a dub one of these days, but he's got to work for it, you know?
I mean, consistency shows that Deku just keeps taking those L's, though.
Big time, big L's, yeah.
You know, I mean, I think it's just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Taking his L's.
All right, we have a question right up here. Go ahead and stand up.
Hi, my name is Priscilla, and I wanted to ask all the three of you, if you didn't pursue in voice acting, what do you think your career would be right now?
Oh gosh.
That's such a great question. I think about this a lot. I should have cultivated a skill, done that. I really liked math growing up. I maybe should have done something with numbers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't expect that.
was not expecting a math
I appreciate that. Yeah, Math Nation.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I debated a lot on what I wanted to do. I also was pretty good at growing up.
Nice.
I was back where I grew up. There wasn't. Thank you guys don't have to. It's fine. You already did that for Justin. It feels like you feel obligated. I don't need you to feel that way. But like there wasn't. Oh no, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity where I grew up for a lot of things. There was a power plant, so I guess I could have worked there. There's a lot of math involved in that, but like, you know, other than that, it would have been like being a teacher. I don't know. I feel like I want to do something with like. I always think about if money wasn't an option, a thing I'd love to do is open like a dog rescue sanctuary. That's like
dogs here, math, kind of right.
Yeah. Are we a more, all right, between math and dogs, I'm gonna give you an option. I want you to cheer for the thing you care about more, okay? Oh, you can only cheer once. Who wants to cheer for math? And dogs? All right, then I'm sticking with the dog sanctuary. Thank you, everybody. You've helped me make a decision.
So if you cheered for math, that means you can't have a dog. Is that true?
It means you just care more for the formulas than you do
right
for the dog.
Okay, cool, got it. I just want to see where I was, you know. Yeah, I was not good at math, so I'm not gonna do anything with math. I mean, I was all right, but not.
Yeah, anti-math crowd. I heard you.
Yeah. Anti-math, which might also like dogs. Like you can be anti-math and like dogs. I would do something in like human behavioral studies or like sociology or psychology, something like that. I would, because you know, I've always been someone who needed to be really interested in what I'm doing, you know, to find that, to have that spark with it. So yeah, I would do something in that realm. I don't know what it would, how that would show up if I would, you know, write books or, you know, be a public speaker or what, but something about that would be really interesting to me.
Well, now we all have to know, Clifford, how many dogs do you have?
Presently I have two dogs. You guys have probably seen on my social media, the social media formerly known as Twitter, my dog Cubby. Have you guys ever seen my pictures of my dog Cubby? Yeah, she's super sweet. She's a little terrier mix, and then Kristen, my wife, has a black lab. She brought the black lab into the relationship. You know, you have to make sure the kids play nice. You know, kind of thing. So we have two dogs.
Awesome. All right, we have a question right back here. Move for dogs. We have a question right back here.
My name is Kaylee, and I have a question for all of you. Who's your favorite character, not the one you play?
Oh, who's your favorite character, not the one you play?
Oh wait, I know mine.
If you were here on Friday, you know the answers to these questions.
Stain is mine.
Mine is Midnight for no reason. My mic keeps cutting out. It's pretty great.
Yeah, well, let me get it.
I don't mind. Like it's fun. I think it's funnier. So
It's pretty great.
Can we cut his mic?
They're heading up. They're heading up. There we go. Everyone, give Matt a round of applause.
I'm a proud member of Toga Nation. Yeah,
Toga Nation.
that's right.
do you ever like set up a bunch of decorations and pictures of toga and call it a toga party?
Oh, I will. Nah, I play Toga in the video games and stuff. She's, I don't know, I like her style.
Because you could become anybody else.
That's right, that's right. She can do anything.
We have a question right up here in front.
Hey guys,
Hey.
Hi.
which one of the three movies did you like working on the most? Two Heroes, Heroes Rising, or World Heroes Mission?
Nice. It's the second one for me, and yeah. Cause it was rad. It was awesome.
Yeah, Heroes Rising, man. The second movie is so good. Oh, I love that movie.
Much love to the other two, but the second one let basically all of the students have a little time in the sun, which is always appreciated. And the big climax of that one was just too sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think collectively, I think the second movie is, of the three, the most compelling, the most dramatic, the most, where you just get so much bang for your buck. It's great. And we got to see that in the theaters, which was really exciting. But you asked what was our favorite one to work on. And so for me, selfishly, I enjoyed the third movie just because I got this big fight and it was fun to do.
Yeah, big fight in the second one.
I did. Yeah, no, they're very close for me as far as like, enjoying to work on one. But I remember the investment in the third one and in that fight specifically. It was a challenging fight to do for several reasons. Being underwater and all that stuff was cool, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So cool.
So, David, I have a question for you. Fire or ice?
If I had to choose,
If you personally had to choose fire or ice.
man, they're so in a way connected for me. But I think I would choose fire. Yeah.
All right, we have a question right here.
Hi, my name's Adeli.
Hello.
What I wanted to know, since you guys started voice acting, obviously, has there ever been a time when you're out in public, anywhere, grocery store, whatever, and you heard somebody speaking and you thought, wow, their voice is so interesting, I kind of want to recruit them so they could come in and work as voice actors?
Well, the second part of your question is very important because we don't have that power. Like, we are the actors, we're not the people that are casting anything, we're not the people that are making those sorts of decisions. So we don't have the ability to be like, I want you to be a voice actor, that's not, we don't have that say. But to the first part of your question, yeah, all the time. There are so many times I hear people's voices, I'm like, man, that person's got a really cool
and
voice.
the other thing that's tough about that is I might hear someone, yeah, for sure. Like I've had people that come up to my table and we're having a conversation. I'm like, man, that great instrument, great voice. But you never know, for us to make or even a recommendation, I would want to see that person do some acting a little bit first, just because you have there are plenty of people with fabulous voices, but there's got to be that acting piece that's backing it up, if you're talking about anime or video games or, something like that. So yeah, I would be hesitant until I saw them in a class or saw them doing something before I would say, hey, this person's great, you should try it.
Yeah.
And Clifford, you're a director, correct?
I have been. I'm not actively. I for a period of time was a voice director at Funimation, the company formerly known as Funimation, and I did that, but I left before it even became Crunchyroll. So I don't really have that sway anymore. If there were people that I heard a demo and could hear, but even then, like what David said, I would have to hear them do acting. It was more than just your voice is cool. It's got to be I need to know that you know how to use it.
Right.
So even then.
And when we're auditioning for stuff, it's stuff that is voice acting stuff, but you have to think of two things. It's got to be, the character specs and what that character is, and also the vocal idea for that character. But it's always both things. If you did one or the other, you're missing a big part of it.
Yeah, for sure. We have a question right here. Go ahead and stand there.
Sorry. Hello, my name is Mercedes, and I have 2 questions for all of you. So one would be, did you go to school for voice acting, or did you pick it up on the fly? And if you would want to be a part of another anime, which one would it be?
What are you cosplaying as?
Oh, I'm cosplaying as Galo Timos from Promare.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Cool,
Okay.
yeah.
It looked familiar. I couldn't place what it was. Did you guys go to school for voice acting?
No. I went to school for acting. I found acting in high school, and I fell in love with theater, and I was a big theater nerd, and I did that, and then I went to school for theater, and I lived in New York for a time, but I really pursued acting. The craft of acting was the easiest way to say what I went to school for, what I trained for. But to your part of your question, when I was in college, I thought, let me increase my opportunities. What other kind of ways can I act? And one of the answers to that question was voice acting. I made a commercial demo, and anyway, my first anime that I ever did, I had never done any type of voice acting at all. Well, I'd done commercial stuff, but I'd never done any, anime voice acting or video game stuff. So it did kind of feel like it was on the fly in a way, right? I was already a trained actor, but I felt confident with my acting ability, but I didn't really know what the genre would ask of me, as an actor. And so the first 6 episodes or so of that first thing that I did was a lead role in a show, and I was grateful for it, and I got to kind of learn, what it takes. But I always tell people that want to get into it, the only reason I was able to do that was because I had an acting foundation. Like, I was able to adjust on the fly. The last thing you want to do is get a great opportunity and then kind of crash and burn, then you got to rebuild that. But yeah.
Justin?
Nearly the same. Yeah, I did go to theater school. I took it way too seriously for a long time. And yeah, I loved that whole world and performing and making characters. But part of my background growing up was just being obsessed with anime and video games and all of that. So I was always cutting up with my friends, doing stupid voices and all of that. And eventually you come to the conclusion of, like, what do I want to do? Do I want to focus my energy on camera? Do I want to do on stage? And voiceover seemed like a really good opportunity to marry those interests for me. And as David just alluded, thank God I had that background, because when I did actually get like a significant lead role in an anime, the work is so technically demanding that I left feeling like, oh, actually I'm the worst actor in the world. Now I know. But yeah, if I didn't have that foundation to fall back on, it would have been a very different story, I think.
And I didn't study theater in the same way that these guys did, but I studied film production and TV and radio and stuff growing up, and it's all related. So I mean, I'd done acting classes through it and been around it and working with actors and all those sorts of things. So like I had sort of absorbed the performance style and such from just working with other people and trying to get performances from people.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. No, was there a second part to that?
It was what anime would you want to be a part of?
Oh, God, there's so many that I would want to be a part of. I never want to say them out loud. I mean, like, there are so many things I've auditioned for that I would love to be a part of, and that might still happen. But my best way to answer that is, I would love to just be in the next thing that is awesome and that I enjoy being in. We're constantly auditioning, and it's whatever that next thing is, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's totally, yep.
We have a question right over here. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Valeria, and I mostly read the manga. Like, obviously, I watched the actual show, but I mostly read the manga.
Cool.
And I wanted to know if you guys yourself had read the manga, either like before, during you voice acted the characters, and if while you read there was like a point in like where you're like, oh, I can't wait to voice that. Like, that's gonna be so cool whenever I get in the booth.
I do read the manga. I still do. And when we were auditioning, I read about all that was out at that point, which I think was up until like the sports festival, the tournament arc. And it was all really cool. Like it helped me get the gist of this world and the characters and all of that. And you know, since I started reading before, I figured why stop there. But yeah, basically the fight versus Deku and Todoroki was a real highlight for me to read. So I figured when it gets animated, it's going to be sick, and it was. And that's sort of the general consensus for me reading each chapter is like, well, this is really awesome. I just can't wait to see it animated. I can't wait to hear it with the music and all my friends doing the voices. It's going to be really cool.
I don't.
That's that.
Yeah, that's that. I don't read the manga either. Now, when I'm preparing for something, an audition, I will go and find the manga and do as much reading as I can, as much research as I can. Most of the time, my reason for not reading it is twofold. I don't make the time to, just time-wise. And secondly, there are sometimes where, you know, it's gonna be, it might be animated a little differently. It might not be exactly the same. So I don't wanna get too attached to anything. But that said, I love to know what's happening in the manga. So I don't care about spoilers at all. So when people have read it, I always ask them, so what's going on now? What's happening now? And I've had some great conversations at this table right over here that with some wild stuff that is happening that does make me really excited. Like, you know, season 6, I knew some of the stuff that was gonna happen and it made me even more excited to get in there. But I like that I don't know exactly. I know an idea of what's gonna happen. So that's kind of how I approach it.
Oh, love it. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, look, we have a special question.
Oh no.
Oh my god, I'm just really nervous. I'm such a big fan of you guys. I have 2 questions. First one is for Cliff. I'm gonna get some rice balls for lunch. Did you want me to get you?
Sure.
And the second one is for Cliff.
No, the second one is for all of you. If you could be any type of dog, what would you be?
Australian Shepherd. I like that dog question.
A retriever of some variety.
Oh yeah.
Irish Wolfhound, maybe?
Nice.
I feel like I don't even know you.
What do you think I was gonna say?
A wolf?
Wolfhound.
Irish Wolfhound?
No, that's completely different. Do you want a shiitake mushroom rice bowl, or do you want a tuna rice bowl?
I see that me not answering with the dog you wanted has shaken all your trust.
What rice bowl you want?
The mushrooms fine.
Okay, all right. I love you, buddy.
All right.
Everyone, give a big round of applause for Kristen McGuire. And be sure to visit her booth. If you want to know what you look like as an anime character, she's going to be drawing that. She has great artistic ability. Head on out there. One more time, Kristen McGuire, everyone.
I know her.
All right, let's go ahead to the next question.
Hello, my name is Danica. I actually have 2 questions for all 3 of you.
Okay.
If there was a new voice actor, what advice would you give them?
There are so many new voice actors.
If there was,
hypothetically speaking, if there was only one.
don't compare yourself to other people. Keep your head down, do your work, you know, put your best foot forward and just keep going, you know?
Yep. Everybody's journey is different. Don't compare yourself. Use an alias.
Yes.
Credit yourself under a fake name so people don't find your address on the dark web. Don't laugh. It's happened. So yeah, I get people send stuff to my house, and I'm like, this is not the way to do this right here.
Yeah, I got people like friending my family on Facebook.
Yeah.
Can I talk to Justin?
Yeah.
No. Heck no.
Use an alias.
Sorry, but no. Take a real critical look at yourself and think about what it is that you love about acting. Does it bring you joy? Does it make you happy to perform or entertain, etc.? This is, and with many acting careers, it's the same. There are very high highs and low lows. And when you are in those valleys, you'll want to remind yourself what it is that you love about what you do. And hold on to that.
Yeah.
So with each of your individual characters, if you guys could pick one, if you guys could vote like for one of them to be the best, which one would you guys choose?
Kachan.
Between the three of us?
But they have to vote between each other?
Oh.
Okay, so, and they can't vote for themselves?
I'm voting for myself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm voting for myself big
So
time.
it's 2 votes for
So
Bakugo.
I'm the tiebreaker.
No, you already said Kachan.
Well, I don't know
Your
anymore.
vote's cast.
I'm not
It's not-
sure.
Anyway, thank you for your questions.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Let's go with the next one right here, really quickly. What's your name and your question?
My name is Dante, and I have a question for all of you. What is the most emotional experience you've had with your characters?
Oh, so we got pretty close on Friday. You guys kind of mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, guys.
For 1 second, I thought you were going to be like, so come back on Friday.
Yeah. So if you weren't here, sorry. Next
Sorry,
question.
but, we're only answering new questions. No. It's the most emotional experience with my character, like while recording my character, would be the big scene at the end of season 6.
Yeah.
In Deku versus people he shouldn't be fighting. Yeah, no spoilers if you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, are you really a fan?
Right. What are you waiting for?
Anyway, just kidding. But
I've got a couple. It's hard to choose one, but again, season 6, Shoto says he calls Endeavor something that he's never called him. It's not like bastard and stuff. He's used that before, and it was really emotional. It was. It took me by surprise. It was one of those sort of surprise emotional thing. I did it. It happened, and I was like, wow, that was something. And it was not just the word. It was the scenario that they're in, the context, the desperation. So yeah, I'd go with that.
Season 6 in general, but also the episode that Cliff just alluded to was sort of, it encapsulates everything I love about the show, you know?
Good ones, I like those. Thank you very much. Oh, wait, did you ask a question?
No, okay, go ahead.
My name is Jason, and it's mainly for Justin, but it could be for others. But what is like?
We'll see.
What is your favorite style in general for the actors you play in My Hero Academia?
Favorite style?
Like style what? What do you mean style?
Acting?
Like how Deku, how he is like the vigilante and the World Heroes mission.
Oh, like our costumes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, costumes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take this one, guys. This one, I do. I have a real soft spot for the new vigilante mode. It was just really cool and kind of sad. I would give more respect on World Heroes missions costumes if they had like done anything.
If they had existed,
If they had used
first
them.
5 minutes of the movie.
I also have a real soft spot for the classic bunny ears that his mom made him, you know? I think that's just sweet.
That's right.
Awesome, thank you very much.
All right, right over here.
When acting the first time, how did you feel?
Like the first time,
like the first.
Yeah.
When you acted like the first time in an anime, how was your first feeling when meeting everyone else in there?
Like in our first anime ever, or in My Hero? Okay.
And like in
First anime?
First anime, yeah. He is nodding his head.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, for the first most important detail of this is we record independently. So there's a director, there's an engineer, and there's you. And so you're not with any of the other cast members recording it all. So meeting everybody else comes later, either at conventions or you might pass somebody in the halls or whatnot. But it's not like I'm like, wow, I'm right here with David, Matranga, oh my god, you know. But it's. Which I've never been like that with David, not even once. But
that's all I'll ever get right there. It was acting. But
so that part doesn't happen. But at least in my experience, my first My first time recording on an anime was for for a show called Bimbo Gamiga, which was known as Good Luck Girl. It's a comedy show. It's real good, thank you. It was real good, and I got called in. I did the audition. I was sure I bombed it, and then I got called back in for what they were calling a paid audition, which I guess was like a callback, where they made me come in and record for 2 hours, and I got paid for this recording session. But it was essentially to see if I was able to do the work because I was so new, and if I was gonna fit the part and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, so this is like my best chance to book this thing right now, is I gotta do a good job. And so it was really nerve-wracking.
Right.
And Joel McDonald was the voice director for that, and about an hour into the thing, he's like, okay, great. So when we come in for this next part, I want you to be, you got the part, and I want you to be like this. And I was like, you can't just tell me in the middle of this that I just got my first role, you know, like, because now I'm like, I can't even celebrate, you know, like, I gotta listen to the direction. But it was cool. I mean, so then I got called in again and had more recording. So that was mine.
Yeah, I mean, it felt awesome. You know, in a nutshell, like, I mean, I similar experience, not the paid part, but I auditioned for this thing, and I came in and got a call back, and then found out I was cast and went in and did it. And like I said, it was a show called Sorcerer, Stabber, Orphan, way back in the day, and yeah, it felt really, really cool. I mean, he was this awesome sorcerer guy that was going on adventures, and so yeah, it was a great thing because I had never thought of myself when I studied acting. It was like, you know, I thought of it in a certain way. This is what I'll be doing. I'll be doing this, and this was like outside of that, and it was so cool. It opened up a bunch of opportunities. So it was very exciting, and also I got in my head a lot, and it was like, I want to be good. I want this to be great, and so it was a constant negotiation with myself. But yeah, overall it was amazing.
Justin?
My first few recording sessions were more along the lines of like Walla and additional voices, so I didn't feel immense pressure. Like, of course, I wanted to come in and dress to impress and you know, do good work, because I figured that's the pipeline into eventually getting more auditions, etc. But it was fun, you know, as long as I could step away from like my theater school trauma of like, you better get it right this time or else. Then, you know, then you just learn to have fun with it, and then it really becomes, that's where the work begins.
So I have one last question for all three of you, and it's a really quick one. If you had to describe My Hero Academia in one word, what would it be?
Wow, oh my God.
One word, you only get one word.
Awesome.
Okay, it's not bad.
Complicated.
No claps for that one. Sorry. No, too late.
No, it was a nice chuckle.
They also didn't clap for Orphan, but they did clap for Good Luck.
No, good catch.
Now you're seeing the insecurities of actors.
You lost the crowd. Yeah.
It's too late. It's too late.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm not worried about it.
One word.
Cool.
We think you guys are cool, and we've definitely enjoyed having you guys here. Guys, make sure you visit them at their booth. They're only here for just a little while longer. Please give a warm, big round of applause for the cast of My Hero Academia.